Hey everybody, I am Jared Clark with Airguns of Arizona. Today we're going to be going through the gun that won the EBR 50-yard first place championship last year. This is the RTI Prophet Performance package. This package is a multi-caliber setup, meaning that with a barrel change and a probe change, you can have a 177, a 22, a 25, or a 30 caliber all in the same platform. So this gun has a lot of features. It has a lot of performance based on that first place win. So we're gonna put it under the microscope and we're gonna show you what features, performance, numbers, everything that you can expect on this gun. So we're excited to do this one. Stick around and we'll show you what it's got. I'm gonna show you exactly what you could expect if you were to unbox one of these. Here is the gun. It does come in a latching hard case, as you can see here. Let's go ahead and pull the gun out here. So this is the beast right here, RTI Performance package. And we're gonna talk a little bit about available options for this gun. This is the performance package, like I've said a few times now, which means it does come with a carbon fiber bottle. It has a 20 MOA rail, has the ability to adjust the hammer spring directly in the back here, and it comes with the hard case. So there is a standard gun that's available that just minus all of those, and the price reflects it as well. But we do want to cover that there is a standard and a performance package model. So RTI Prophet Performance package here. And then two other things in the hard case. You have your 12-shot magazine, and if you do 22 caliber like I'm doing, this is a 12-shot mag, will come with each gun. And then you have an instruction sheet that comes with each gun. This is just a front and back piece of paper, but it is incredibly in-depth. It tells you pretty much everything you need to know about the gun, and it's gonna basically explain a lot of the stuff that I'm gonna explain here to you. So good information in here, even though it is relatively small. There's a lot of good reference that you can use on that sheet of paper. So here we have the very new RTI Prophet. RTI has made a few other models, the Priest and the Priest 2. This is the newest version in their setup, and the big difference between it and the others is going to be right here on the side lever. So this gun has a side lever cocking. You have the ability to change calibers. You have about 80 plus foot-pounds potential if you change the calibers to 30, and it's all in a package that's just over 30 inches. I mean, head to toe here is like 30.5 inches, I believe. So you have a compact gun that gets a high shot count, a lot of power, and accuracy right up there with all the rest of them. So this is kind of a setup that you can fit in a 30-inch case if you want it to be very simplistic. It is a very, very aggressive setup that has a lot of features, and it packs it all into this really tight, compact, tactical looking rifle you see in front of me. So what we're gonna do is show you all those cool features that it has. We're gonna show you the accuracy, we're gonna do shot count, we're gonna do the full gambit that we usually do, and I think by the end of it, you'll see exactly why this gun really stands apart from a lot of other guns. So we went ahead and added this is a Vortex Strike Eagle 5-25 first focal plane. This scope has a 34mm tube, but just like this gun, it has a lot of really cool options that don't break the bank. Just quickly off the top of my head, it has 110 minutes of angle adjustment in it. So you have the ability to adjust a lot of elevation within the scope itself. Add that to the 20 MOA Picatinny rail that's on there, and this could be used for any kind of PRS, NRL, any kind of shooting where you need to change distances and you rely on the clicks. This scope is great without breaking the bank. We added also the Atlas BT69 bipod here. It connects via a quick connect Picatinny on the bottom, and it's just perfect for this setup. It's lightweight, long legs that are adjustable. You have a lot of adjustment here, and you have a package that is really compact. So in terms of tactical look, tactical feel, the bipod, the scope, the gun, it all meshes together in something that I really like here in front of me. This is a really cool setup. So this is a 22 caliber. It is the Cerakote color configuration, as you can see. It also comes available in an all black configuration. If you don't like the bright colors, there is an all black configuration. And like we talked about, it can change calibers. So this one is 22, but it's available in 177, 22, 25, and 30 caliber. We'll touch on numbers, shot counts, power, all of that back at the range, but it is available in all 4 calibers. And realistically, you can buy one platform with 3 barrels, and then you have one gun that you can change between all 4 calibers. So it's really versatile in that aspect. It allows you to have a 177 that you use to shoot outside in the backyard, and then you can swap it over to a 30 caliber, bump your reg pressure up, and you're out shooting at 100 yards without any problems. So in the back, you have a butt pad here. It's a metal butt pad, very tactical look to it. So the performance package, like in front of us here, has 2 cutouts in the back of the butt stock. The top one is a 6mm Allen wrench, and that's your hammer spring adjustment. So you can just in the back of the rifle here, you can either crank in to get more velocity, crank out to back off how hard the hammer is hitting the valve. So it's not just as simple as turn it in to increase, back it out to decrease. You kind of have to find the balance point between regulator pressure and hammer spring tension, but it's right there. It's really easy to do. It gives you adjustments right on the fly. Right below that, there's a hole cut out, and about ½ an inch inside of there is a 4mm screw. That is your bleed screw. So if you need to dump all the pressure to make a change to your regulator, if you just need to dump all the pressure in the gun, you put your 4mm wrench in there, turn it clockwise until you'll hear air audibly dumping. It'll dump the plenum and the air bottle, and then you tighten it back up and it's ready to be refilled. I'm gonna come right here next. On the side, there's 2, it says a plus and a minus, and a plus and a minus with a spring and then 2 little L shapes. These are actually your trigger adjustments, which is really cool on a bullpup because a bullpup means that the trigger is actually sitting in front of the action. So usually you don't have a lot of adjustment, and if you do, it's kind of, you're gonna get it up in here where the trigger is. RTI thought ahead for you, and they made them right here. So you have, this one will adjust the feel of the second stage, this one will adjust the weight of the second stage. So these are 1.5mm set screws, and you go clockwise to increase weight, counterclockwise to decrease weight. So it really gives you the ability to get a very, very light, crisp trigger on a bullpup setup. And I'm gonna point out this little guy right here. This is gonna be new to the Prophet. It's a little piece of metal. This is a larger plenum. So the area behind the regulator is called the plenum. So you have your regulator sits in front of the bottle, and the area behind it is all your plenum size. So on this one, they increase the plenum size, which leads to better efficiency out of the gun, usually more power. So you can see here, your regulator sits here, and then all this tube up top here, and all of this down here is now your plenum size. So this adds 22 cubic centimeters to the overall plenum size, making it a total of 57 cubic centimeters of plenum space. So that's a big part as to why this gun is so efficient and capable of putting out such high powers like we're gonna talk about on the range, all because of this new guy. This plenum right here goes a long way for power and efficiency. You have a standard AR style grip. This one that comes on it is a nice rubberized feel. It looks good on the gun, it functions well, but you do have the option that any AR style grip can be put on this. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a personal lesson that I learned while doing this. If you are gonna change that AR grip, be sure and hold the rifle upside down. It sounds really strange, but there is a tiny screw and a ball detent that works on the safety here, and it is held in place by this grip. So if you take it off with the grip going down, just like I did, you can learn from my mistake, you are gonna lose and you are gonna have almost an impossible time finding a tiny ball and a tiny spring. So, word of advice, if you do have to change the AR grip, do it in this fashion and make sure that that tiny little spring and ball detent stay in there and they go back on top. In front of the grip, we have the trigger itself obviously right here, and that is adjustable back here. So there's no set screws, nothing inside of here that you're gonna play with, it's all back here. So behind the trigger, you have the manual safety here, and that is when you can see red, it's ready to fire. When you can't see red, it's in the safe mode and the trigger will not engage. We have the barrel shroud. You're not actually looking at the barrel here. This is the shroud. The barrel sits inside of the shroud. So that's the shroud. And then on top of the shroud, you have the 20 MOA Picatinny rail. So this is a standard Picatinny style rail, but it has 20 minutes of angle already built into it. That's big with air guns because they're going subsonic. So you have a much more loopy curve compared to a firearm that shoots kind of like a laser beam and straight. So when you compensate for a little bit with 20 minutes of angle, it makes it easier to zero this at 20 yards. And it also gives you, for moving out, it gives you 20 MOA in the rail. And like we talked about, then you have whatever's plus whatever's in your scope. So 20 minute of angle rail is a really cool feature, something that most shooters really like to have. So RTI went ahead on the performance package and incorporated it straight out of the box. We mentioned it already, I think, but we'll show it again. The big deal on the Prophet, what makes it the Prophet, is this side lever right here. It comes out, it's a throw lever on the side. It's really easy to use as a right-handed shooter. You can get into the scope and maintain your line of sight while also actuating that. So for quick follow-up shots, for speed shooting, for precision shooting, it makes it really easy to operate while you're using the gun. We're gonna go straight down here. I have my Atlas bipod on here. The BT69 is connected via this small Picatinny accessory rail that you have here. Great for bipods, like you can see. Any accessory that connects via that style of attachment will work great on there. And then straight in front of that, we're gonna have two gauges. We have regulator pressure gauge right here, and then bottle pressure gauge right here. So if you make changes to the gun, you use this as your reference point, and then this one will tell you how much pressure is in the bottle. So make sure that bottle pressure is always higher than reg pressure. If it goes below, performance will start to drop off. And then directly south of that, those gauges here, you have a 5mm screw right here. This is your regulator adjustment. So this is your reg right here. Your reg's sitting, you can see kind of the body of the regulator here. This is how you make the adjustments to the reg. If you turn it clockwise, it'll increase the reg pressure. If you turn it counterclockwise, it's gonna decrease the reg pressure. I would recommend not decreasing the regulator while the gun is under pressure. If you need to decrease it, utilize that bleed screw that we talked about in the back, dump all the air, make a small adjustment, put air back in it, and then it's under pressure, you can always increase. But if you need to turn it counterclockwise to decrease pressure, you need to bleed the system. The carbon fiber bottle that is on the performance package here is a 500cc bottle. It's slimmer than most bottles, I would say, but it really complements this package nicely, how it goes right almost out to the end of the barrel. You know, it gives you as much air without being incredibly large or bulky or looking kind of out of place on the gun. It really fits in well with the streamlined profile, and it delivers a lot of shots per fill off of a 300 bar fill. At the end of the Shroud, these all do come with 1/2" UNF threads. So any kind of 0dB, Trident, Donnie FL, any of the aftermarket moderators will go right on there and make this guy really quiet if you need it to be. The overall profile of the gun without a scope is just at 6 inches, which is really cool. It's like 6 1/4, I think was my exact measurement. But you can see here, from the top of the scope to the bottom of the AR rail, my hand is bigger than that. So this gun, not only is it only 30 and 1/4 inches, I think, in overall length, the profile of it is also very, very small. So I just can't say it enough. The gun size versus the performance is what's really impressive on this package. 6 inches tall, 30 inches long, and it can produce 80 foot-pounds in 30 caliber, probably 82, 85 foot-pounds in 30 caliber. Just gives you a lot of different uses, different scenarios that you could use the gun. It's kind of the one gun. You can buy it in 177 off the bat. Next year you can get a 22, next year you can get a 25, next year you can get a 30, and you have 4 years of the same air gun, only buying a barrel in between. So there's just so much potential here for customization and power and anything you can imagine. This gun is really the ultimate package for adjustability. Cool feature on this one, there's a quick connect back here you can see. So this actually is a way that you can forego the bottle if you want. So you can take the bottle and the regulator completely off the gun, have nothing under the barrel, and if you have a regulated line, you can plug in right here, hook it up, and just shoot to whatever you're tethered to. So it makes for tethered shooting. If you have an inline regulator, or you have a way to regulate the air that's coming in, take this bottle completely off, set up your bipod, clip your hose in, and you can shoot connected to a 100 cubic foot tank all day long. It's so different. I've seen it advertised as a guy walking around in the woods, and he has a belt on with a bottle in the belt and a hose connected here. So you'd get rid of the weight of the bottle. You have the bottle now on your belt, and you can walk around and get huge amount of shots because you're tethered directly to a tank. So really cool feature. So at 30.5 inches in overall length, 6 1/4 inches in profile, without a scope, this gun only weighs 7.3 pounds. So the profile, the weight, the length, it's all incredibly light and small for the power that you can produce out of it. So at 7.3 pounds, it makes it easy to carry around. You add a lightweight scope. This is a great hunting gun. This is a great truck gun. Anywhere that you have about 30 inches of clearance, you can throw this in and it will meet your needs. I can guarantee you that. So like we said, this gun is very versatile in that you can change calibers, and I'm gonna show you real quickly how that's done and how simple it is really to do that. So in front of the gun here, this is a different caliber barrel. This is a 177. So you have the barrel, and then in this bag you have the bolt probe and the Shroud end cap. Those are the 3 pieces that it needs to change this gun's caliber completely. So I'm gonna show you the process real quick of doing that and how easy it is. So the first thing we're gonna do is take out this 3mm screw. This holds the back of the barrel in place. So go ahead, we'll just remove that completely. And then we're gonna come up here to the end of the shroud. Why we showed you, it does have the 1/2" UNF thread here. If you go ahead and just grab this knurled knob and go ahead and turn the 1/2" thread, you wanna grab the knurled knob, not the thread. So there's our 22 in cap. Inside of here is our barrel. So you need the RTI barrel tool. It's threaded for 1/2" UNF right here, and then has a little bit of knurling here so you can grip it. So I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna find the barrel, I'm gonna thread that on. What I like to do on this is you go ahead and pull that out of the way. The barrel itself, you can see the lip of it right here. I go ahead and push that while I pull that simultaneously, and it comes right out. So there's our 22 caliber barrel. Go ahead and take the barrel removal tool off that. So let's set that one down. The only other piece that we need to pull out before we change the caliber is the bolt probe itself. So to do that, you cock the gun. So once it's cocked, it will reveal in the back here, and there's a little opening right here that has a 2mm set screw. Go ahead and pull that completely out just like the barrel screw. And then you're gonna go ahead and take the cocking arm. I push it all the way forward and then back it back out. So now it's not connected to this. That'll come right out. So very simple. The gun has no barrel or probe. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna reverse that order. I'm gonna put the probe in first. So same thing, we're gonna go in. All right, so there it's in that hole. And then this time it's not connected yet. So as you pull this back, just kind of push the probe back with it. Now it's all the way back. We're gonna put our 2mm grub screw back on. Nice and tight. So now our probe is connected to the bolt action there. You can see as it pulls in and out. All we have to do now is put the new barrel in. So once again, I'm gonna take the barrel tool. I'm gonna thread it onto the 1/2" thread there. So we want the transfer port pointing down, and then we're just gonna go ahead, use our barrel tool here to align it. Look where the screw's gonna go, and you wanna make sure that you see that cut for the screw here. So there's the cut, got it where we want it. 3mm set screw goes back in, nice and tight. Remove your barrel tool, put your new end cap on. There it is. That's a complete barrel change. Takes a couple of minutes, but with the right tools, and once you've done it a couple times, you'll be swapping out barrels in no time flat. Probably even do it with a blindfold. The RTI Prophet does have a 1-year manufacturer's warranty. So there you have all the features that this gun has to offer. At 30 inches, 30.5 inches, it packs a lot of features into this really compact, lightweight package here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take it back to 20 yards. We're gonna change calibers, but we're gonna give you shot count for 177, 22, 25. I have the 22 set up on this one. So we're gonna shoot accuracy at 20 yards, accuracy at 50 yards, show you all the performance specs that you could expect to get out of it, and really run it through the ringer here. So let's go ahead and get some air in it. I'll meet you back at 20 and we'll get that going. So we have the RTI Prophet on our 20-yard bench here. We've gone ahead and put 300 bar in the gun. That's the max fill pressure. So what we're gonna do is calculate shot counts. We're gonna do some accuracy testing. It'll give us kind of a rough idea what we can expect at 50, but a lot of data to be collected here. So let's go ahead, load up the magazine, and we'll get shooting. So loading the mag, we're gonna show you quickly how to do that. But before we do that, we just wanna show a really cool feature that this magazine has. You'll notice that there's a cut right here. That's where the barrel centers, and as you rotate the drum, your pellet holes become visible. So you can load it from this way if you're a right-handed shooter, or if you're a left-handed shooter and you want it to come in from the other side, there's another cut on this side. It loads just the same, but from the opposite side. So it gives you the ability, if you're a right-handed shooter, to keep it off your cheek, or if you're a left-handed shooter, to have it come in from the other side and keep it off your cheek. It's a really cool feature. It's small, but it's really innovative and really shows that RTI put a lot of thought into this. Since I'm right-handed, I'm gonna be loading it to come in from the right to the left. And all you're gonna do, you have the drum up top here. All you're gonna do is rotate that until a pellet hole becomes visible. You're gonna drop it in, and you kinda gotta seat it flat with your finger there so it can rotate to the next one. So it's as simple as that. One in, seat it flat with your thumb, rotate it to the next. This is a 22 caliber, so it'll hold 12 shots. The 177 will hold 16 shots. The 25 will hold 10 shots, and the 30 caliber will hold 7 shots. All right, so now it's full. I can't rotate it any further. It's ready to go into the gun from right to left, and now your magazine's loaded and you're ready to roll. All right, so great group, 12 shots out of the magazine at 20 yards, no conditions, it's going through the same hole. So I have high expectations for accuracy out at 50, but at 20 yards, it's showing every indication of being an incredibly accurate gun. So we're gonna put 300 bar into the 500cc tank up front here. We're gonna calculate how many shots we can get per fill. Now keep in mind, this is a pretty high powered gun, how we have it set up right now in 22 caliber, but we're gonna calculate how many shots we can get off of a full 300 bar fill. And since this gun does have the ability to change barrels and change calibers, making it a very versatile platform, we're gonna go ahead and run those numbers in 177, 22, and 25. 30 cal will be available in the future, so we might have to release a new video down the road a little bit with the 30 caliber because we haven't got the barrels yet, but we will give you shot count for 177, 22, and 25. So let's start shooting. So we have some results for shot counts for you. Off of all of these are off of 300 bar fills. We're gonna start with the 177 caliber. In the 177 caliber, we were shooting the 10.6 grain H&N Barracuda match, and we got 225 shots. So that is a lot of shots in 177, an average feet per second of 880 feet per second. And if you calculate that out, the average foot pounds of energy is 18.3. So in 177, you can get 18 foot pounds for 225 shots off of a 300 bar fill. Really great performance, really high shot count. Accuracy stays inherent with all the calibers. In 22 caliber, we got an average of 91 shots per fill with an average velocity of 961 feet per second. At 961 feet per second, that is producing 52 foot-pounds of energy. That is an absolute hammer in 22 caliber, and it's showing here that it's laser beam accurate as well. So jumping up to 25 caliber, off of the same 300 bar fill using the JSB King Heavy 33.9 grains, we got 90 shots per fill. And then the average velocity of 876 feet per second. So if you crunch those numbers, that's right at 57.7. I'll round up and say 58 foot-pounds of energy. So 90 shots at 58 foot-pounds in a package that is this small. To me, that's insane. It's really showing how far modern air gunning has really come. If you can get a package this small that gets that many shots and has that much power potential, we're in the golden age of air gunning right now. It's gonna be hard to get better than this. All right, so now let's put some more air in this. Let's take it outside to 50 yards. We'll see how it holds up at a further distance, throw in some elements and see what kind of group we can hold together. We have the RTI Prophet out here at our 50-yard range. We are gonna be testing it for accuracy straight from the magazine at 50 yards, see what kind of group we can hold together. And we're shooting pellets right around 970 feet per second. And those are the exact monster 25.39s. So we have 5 of these loaded in the mag. We're gonna put them down paper and see what kind of group we can hold together. All right, so there are 5 right in the middle of the paper. Let's get down there and take a closer look at it. That is tight, all inside of that nice tin ring there. That's all on top of each other, busting out the middle of our target. Can't get any better than that. That is repeatability at its finest right there. Okay, so there we have it. That's the RTI Prophet. As you can see, it has a lot of features, a lot of innovative features that you can tell the people who designed it really thought ahead, like the trigger adjustment right on the side, the tethering abilities, the bleeder valve in the back where you can dump all the air. You can just tell that everything on this gun was really thought out well, and the people who designed it are shooters at heart, because once you start shooting it, you start to appreciate these little things that are put in it. So there is the RTI Prophet. We showed you in 22 caliber, you can get 50 plus foot-pounds in terms rounds of energy output. At 20 yards, you can expect magazine all in the same hole. 50 yards, we put 5 shots basically right in the 10 ring. It shows how accurate the gun is and really solidifies why it won the 50-yard Extreme Benchrest competition this year, first place prize. So this gun is a great performer. It packs a lot of punch into a small package, and for the price, I think it's really gonna be hard to beat in terms of what you get here. This was a really fun review. I love getting to review new guns like this that are just hitting the market, and we love being able to bring them to you and bring the information directly to you. So if you liked this video, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel, go over to airgunsofarizona.com, follow our email list. Basically any way that you can follow us, we ask that you do it, and we'll be giving you more content like this in the future. I'm Jared Clark. Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll see you next time.